Hey, welcome everybody. This is the podcast from the belly of the Sarlac. Yeah, and we're just here. We're talking about The Mandalorian. This is a great new series. If you haven't watched it yet, I don't know. Our podcast can be full of spoilers, so I don't know what to tell you on that, but it's really
Absolutely.
a great show.
Keep
It's
in
worth
mind,
your time.
yeah, if you're listening to our podcast, we expect you'd already seen the episode that we're talking about, because that's the whole point of our podcast, to talk about what we saw. So I don't hear no complaints about, oh, you gave a spoiler away. Know what? That's our format. If you listen to our podcast, we'll be talking about the show with all spoilers.
Your spoiler warning is now. And apparently we expect you to listen to our podcast and know who we are, because we're not telling you anything. I'm Ross Miller, motherfucking Ross.
I'm Tony Lamar all day.
All right, so we got the formalities out of the way. Let's get into it. Now, this series has been running for a while. We just started it, the last night's episode, kind of a misnomer, but the Jedi it was called.
Well, yeah, which is, I think, was a great way to start the show. Hey, let's go what we're familiar with Jedi. So let's start our podcast, and that's what we did. So here we go.
Hey, the reason you watch Star Wars is for laser swords, and damn it, we got some laser swords.
I think it's so funny that they actually used the word laser sword in this episode, and even Luke Skywalker said laser sword, which I think is hilarious. I like lightsaber, is unique. I like it. They should stick with it. The laser sword is like, it's like, this Star Wars is brought to you by Kmart. Laser swords. Aisle 10.
Hey, man, that's basically what they are. This show is really, it's taken off in a way I didn't expect. This, from the beginning, it's been great. I love how they do the cowboy, kind of Western aesthetic.
Oh, yeah, it's totally a Western in space. If you can't tell, even the first episode of this season 2, is pretty much like the frontiers with the natives, like the American Indians in the West in the United States. And I think that's what the Sand People represent, because they call them monsters, not savages, but monsters. You know what I'm saying? So they really are trying to follow that format of Westerns, which is working.
And it was even the same kind of story where the civilization was encroaching on their territory, and so that's sort of where their conflict came from. And then they found a common ground to kind of find peace. Well, we didn't do that so much, but, we're not here to talk about the plight of the Indians.
But the thing is, that's what I like about these Star Wars TV series. I always knew that Star Wars was going to do well on TV. I mean, yeah, we can talk about the Ewok Adventures another day, but I mean, this time of day, technology is allowing to have shows like Star Wars exist.
Well, I think I'll go a step further. I actually think that this series like this, like Breaking Bad and Lost, and now The Mandalorian and Stranger Things and this stuff, they're kind of making the popcorn movie obsolete. Like, you don't need to go to the theater anymore to have that experience. You can have it every week right on your couch at home. So it'll be interesting to see how it ultimately affects movie releases.
Oh, I think it did. I don't think Star Wars, with Disney, thought Star Wars would be big as it is on television. They're going to try, because they really were counting on movies. But now they're finding out that they're having more success with Star Wars, the TV series. I can tell you 2 reasons why. Dave Filoni is one reason, and Jon Favreau. Okay? Now, this is when you guys let them take over the whole Star Wars stuff, and then they can introduce movies. These are the guys who should be running Star Wars. They should have done it from the very beginning. Dave Filoni made Star Wars what it is for the last 20 years, if not. I think about 20 years. With the Clone Wars and, and Rebels. Just think about it. And then with this episode, we're going to talk about the Jedi. Dave Filoni directed it. He directed this episode.
Well, I love that because Disney kind of erased everything. They made what was canon no longer canon.
Yeah, they call it Legends now.
Yeah, Legends, which is fine, but they're actually pulling from that and they're bringing it in to make it canon again, like they did with the Krayt Dragon. Mm-hmm. What they did with the way that they crossed over the Clone Wars into this TV series was amazing. Like, I thought I was watching an episode of the cartoon, like it was brought to life, literally. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was so well done. Everything about Ahsoka. I don't remember how to pronounce it. Ahsoka, yeah. Everything about her is exactly like the character on the TV show. Her fighting style, her attitude, you know what I mean? Like everything, they brought it out perfect.
Well, it should have, because Dave Filoni, he created this character. That's his baby. That's what he brought to the whole series. Dave Filoni, who directed it. So you nailed it, absolutely. That's why you got that from it, is that the fact that he knew the character backwards and forwards, and he knew how to bring it from the cartoon to television. And you just pretty much just testified that's exactly what he was trying to do. Did an awesome job at it. I love Dario Rosario as Ahsoka. I didn't know what.
Yeah, the fact that they had her right out of the gate, it was like, you know, you didn't think you were going to get Jedi in this, and I know, like, she left the Jedi Order, so that's kind of one of the questions I had. The title of the episode is The Jedi. Mm-hmm. Who is the Jedi in this? Because it's not her.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so is it maybe the Gorgo, Baby Yoda?
Well, that's a. Who knows? Who knows about that? I think they're referring to her as the Jedi because maybe, like you said, they pulled her from the canon. It could be a different storyline with her. I don't know. We don't know.
And it's possible that it's just the only way that the Mandalorian knows, you know, what to call her. You know.
Well, here's the thing about,
like, he knows her name.
Yeah.
But he's not going to walk into town and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for, you know, Asako Tana." Like, that just wouldn't make sense. So, yeah, it's natural that he would, maybe, so it's from his point of view, maybe that's where the title.
Well, they also got to keep in mind, a lot of people don't know the inner workings of the Jedi Order. They, you know, shoot, I see a lady with a lightsaber. Only I know are Jedis who have lightsaber. I don't know Bill down the street with one. I know only Jedi. So, with that in mind, hey, she got two of them. She's definitely a Jedi. I mean, that's just the, you know, just a normal person.
Well, she's got the Jedi training, but she definitely left the Order.
Yeah.
So she, at this point, at the point of the story, she was not a Jedi.
That's if they're doing this storyline in this series. Remember, like you just said, they pulled her out of that. Oh no, Clone Wars. No. I'm sorry, y'all gonna get slammed with emails on that. No, this is a storyline from Clone Wars, and yeah. Okay, so you're right. That's something they're gonna have to cover in the future episode. How they're going to translate information into this series. So. Absolutely.
And yeah, every time Tony's wrong, like, make a little comment down in the comment section. I'm never wrong. I'm always right, so you don't have to worry about me.
Hey.
But you'll have plenty to write about for Tony.
I called it right when I realized I was saying something totally stupid. So I called myself out on that one. So you don't stop those emails right now because I know. I already know. so let's
absolutely.
So like you said, the first part of this episode was freaking exactly what every Star Wars fan wanted. They want to see a badass Jedi coming there kicking ass. I was kicking back on my couch watching it, nice surround sound, and I was very happy with that. I don't need to be on the big screen. I don't need to be a big IMAX theater seeing like that. Don't get me wrong, I would like to have that, but it did its job right there. Ahsoka killed it. It was a badass scene, and it's one of the reasons why I think Mandalorian was so well off. Is they knew how to start this episode off because you want to see a Jedi? Boom, here we go.
Hey, when a 100-inch screen becomes affordable, I'll be buying one.
Well, it had Black Friday yesterday, so you could have got that one for like $50.
Could have swam through the COVID to get me a cheap TV.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. But I tell you this, though. I was happy to see Michael Biehn in this episode, too, because he's old school. You didn't notice that, right, Biehn?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I loved. I mean, I really thought this guy would do a lot more in the 80s through the 90s, but he still is a badass. I was happy to see him. I'm glad he's still working, and he did a good job. I forgot he was a gunslinger. I guess I forgot his name in the episode, but pretty cool.
I don't know if they ever said his name in the episode. To be honest,
they just referred to him as a gunslinger. That's the only thing I remember. But,
well, yeah, he called him that, but they never, they never called him by name at all.
So that's something that I'm sure I'll find out sooner or later. So
and what's with Elsbeth having the 3-bun hairdo like Rey had?
Maybe it's a relative. Who knows?
I don't know. They don't ever do anything without purpose in these shows.
So again, the Mandalorian's mission is to come to this planet to find a Jedi to find out what's up with to help find the child's family. The caravan of where are these little Jedis and Yoda's at. So that's why he went to that planet to find a Jedi. Didn't take very long to find him, to find her, I mean, so it's pretty cool right away. Again, I love the fact that anytime for a Mandalorian to get any kind of information, he has to do a mission. He has to help out that person.
Well, I've heard people complaining, saying that they're like these, just these offshoot stories that don't have any tie to the main arc. I think that's wrong. I think everything here is going to pay off one day. Getting all the weapons for Bo-Katan, securing all that stuff for her, I think is going to pay off in this story.
There's no reason not to. Yeah, you're right. They're setting up for something great. I'm hoping for a cool ass cliffhanger.
And again, maybe this is just a Monster of the Week episode, but even the spiders thing in episode 3 or episode 2 or whatever it was, like, to me, I think that could be used in a way, or there'll be something they learned from that, or some kind of technique or something that they'll be able to bring.
Oh, you missed the whole point of that episode. You totally missed it. Those eggs are the army. Those eggs are fertilizing, and they're gonna make an army. They're gonna have some frogs.
Birth them all out like a queen alien.
That's where the army's coming from. I'll laugh my ass off. That happens at the.
Well, I love the little facehugger one that came out after Gorgu.
Oh, now it's Gorgu.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
We don't have to call him Baby Yoda anymore.
It was pretty cool because, like, when Ahsoka goes, him, I said, oh, it's a guy. Oh, it's a boy. Cool. And then she just dropped the name, like, well, I thought we'd be there 2 episodes before we got to that point. But
oh, no. Yeah, she was communicating with him through the Force, which I thought was amazing, too. What a great...
Yeah.
And the fact that he's understood everything this whole time, that he's actually more intelligent than we give credit for.
Well,
like, that stuff...
I remember mentioning to you in a conversation that he's 50 years old. I mean, that'd be amazing the first 50 or 100 years of their life. They can't talk, they just listen. Because imagine if you couldn't say a word for 50 years, you just take information and you're going to be pretty wise in 100 years. But the fact
or extremely frustrated trying to ask somebody to pass the friggin' ketchup.
You'll learn sign language. You'll be all right. But the fact that they're able to communicate, like you said, that's a great way of using the Force. And I have no problem introducing new Force abilities, as long as it doesn't contradict something in the previous episode or I don't know. I don't read a lot of books of Star Wars, so I just like the fact I don't mind new ways of learning how to exercise the Force. And this is a great way, like I said, to be able to communicate using the Force.
Well, they kind of left it open-ended by saying it's just an and I actually love that she brought that up and said it just like Obi-Wan would have taught, that it's the energy field surrounding all living things, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She didn't get much further into the quote, but that was fine. It was just enough.
Oh, yeah, just to rehash that a little bit, and so Star Wars geeks and freak out over that. Whoa!
Yeah, that's fandom is all that is, but that's cool. I'm good with that.
But I tell you, I love it. I love it every time he breaks out that flamethrower. Every episode, only like I said, I think only 2 or 3 episodes he doesn't go pyro on me, which I freaking love. But he did in this episode. He hit that flamethrower in this one, so I get kicked.
Well, yeah, again, it's one of those things. It's a great crowd dispersal device, but even against a Jedi, that's like fighting a crowd. So
that was cool. It was really.
And
cool.
I liked how she dealt with the rope. She did a lot better than Luke. Dealing with the little rope trick there, but that's what I love about the Jedi. They use their surroundings. Everything around them is something they can bring into the fight, and it's like so she just jumped over that tree and was like, no, now you're my capture.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool move.
And the entire ending, like we talk about this whole thing being a Western, it was pretty much like a Japanese samurai epic, you know what I mean? That fight at the pool, that whole thing was done so well like that.
Oh yeah, it totally had that Kurosawa feel to it. Absolutely, and I think that's the if you want to think about it, that's pretty much the Star Wars marriage with Western and Japanese samurai stories, and they intertwine, and there you got your and just put it in a space. It pretty much writes itself.
Now I want somebody to mod the Ghost of Tsushima so I can have lightsabers.
Don't worry, it's coming. It's good. Believe me, someone's already been thinking about it and trying to figure out how to do that. But I guarantee that's going to be a mod sooner or later. And that's again the whole feeling of this whole Mandalorian series. I couldn't think of another series or character I would follow on television. What a great choice, in my opinion, is a bounty hunter in space. You don't have to go under the Jedi. You don't even have to freaking touch the Empire, which they're not. They did a little bit at the beginning.
Well, I love the fact that he's like, the Empire's destroyed, but they're still chasing us. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's absolutely true. There's still a menace. The First Order has to come out of this from something, you know.
Yeah, and I love it's all dispersed. And like when I saw clean troopers, like, oh, these guys are legit. They ain't like those dirty bastards on the other planet in the first season.
Right.
So these are definitely Empire. These are Imperial stormtroopers.
I'll just wait till they bring the Dark Troopers out.
Oh,
Holy crap,
man.
is that going to be nuts?
I hope they delivered. I hope they pull a Captain Phasma and they just get one shot and they fall off a cliff. I'll be pissed. I want to see some straight carnage from these dudes. Give them props.
Well,
you build them up.
I'm thinking, and this is possibly a spoiler alert, but I honestly have no knowledge. But I'm thinking that there'll be something to do with whatever the ending battle, whatever the climax of the season is.
Oh yeah. They wouldn't show them for next season. This is something that's going to happen. The last 2 episodes, I hope we're going to build ourselves up. Should be a great 2-parter and a great cliffhanger, because they already said they're moving forward with season 3. They didn't say 4 yet, but definitely season 3. So they already got plans for how this is continuing when they wrote this one out. So I'm expecting who's going to be this Jedi. Because here's the thing, she mentioned another one. Technically, Luke is alive at this point, right? He's technically alive. It is only a couple of years after.
Yeah, he has not yet started training Ben yet.
So what, do you get a young Luke Skywalker, or you start doing that deep fakes and de-aging technique to bring Luke? Because he's not that old at this time.
I hope they don't show him at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but there you go. So what Jedi do you bring back? Do you bring Mace Windu? Could that be a lost Jedi? I mean, that'd be freaking pretty cool. I mean, who could they...
My theory is when you place Yoda on the Seeing Stone, it's going to bring either maybe like Mace back, maybe Qui-Gon, possibly Yoda would come to train him. I think it's going to be more spiritual. I don't think it's going to be a physical being that shows up.
That is the question of the day, big time. Is this Jedi that they're foreshadowing, is that going to be a Force ghost, or is that going to be a living Jedi? Now, I would say for the fandom, I don't care who it is a Force ghost. Because that way he's not all in every episode. He could be like the Great Gazoo. He just shows up.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to be in every episode. Just when they need
Doesn't
him.
even need to have a physical presence. Can just be a voice.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my goodness.
Obi-Wan
Yes,
at the end of Star
absolutely.
Wars.
You're 100% correct on that. That's a great way of doing it. So I really hope that's what the way they go, is that they go with a Force
Funny,
ghost.
I just caught that. I still call A New Hope Star Wars. I'm just like, yeah, that's the movie Star Wars. Everything else after that is the...
When I was a kid, it was called Star Wars. It was called Episode 4, A New Hope.
That wasn't even in the title.
No, it was just no, it wasn't. But after they made all that cheddar, they slapped a 4 on there, which still to this day, wow, okay. We're going to start with Episode 4. Let's do this. I'm cool with it. I'm cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm all right with it.
Yeah. So the thing with about Mando is that they really showed the fact that he's really bonding with the child. What will happen with anybody? You take care of any child after a while. It's just part of your DNA. I don't know about you, but maybe most.
He's also setting rules and boundaries, which is very parental. You know.
Oh yeah. But that's pretty cool. This whole time they're getting him that ball. That was pretty cool. How they worked this entire season. That was even last season with that whole ball thing. And they had that work, and it was something he knew, and he always wanted. And it shows that bond they have between each other. He knew that would work because he always wants it. So of course he's going to pull that. It shows a lot to the audience that Din is his name, or you call him Mando.
Yeah,
Din.
Yeah, Din Djarin.
Djarin. He's human under there. He's not a droid. He's still human. He's in the.
They showed his face to prove it.
Yeah. So, but it's hard. I tell you. Oh, here's what I thought was really cool. Someone must have corrected it, but it was funny as hell this time. If you watch the very first episode of The Mandalorian, season 2, when Boba Fett was looking through the telescope, looking into the cave, he actually puts the telescope in the center. But in this episode, he put it towards one of his actually eyes this time. It's funny that they did that this time. It's so simple, but it was I was aware of that. Like, why are they putting it between his eyes? So, but in that episode, but this time, it's me. I'm always gonna be picking things like that because I like showing that kind of stuff. I love catching those little changes because they knew that was stupid.
I liked how they used the fog at the beginning to conceal Ashoka. Like how, if you watch in that in the scene when she disappears into the fog at the meeting, she has both of her lightsabers lit, and as she turns around, it's like the first one she turns off, and then the second one is she just kind of goes into the fog and just vanishes. Like, I loved how they used that stuff. That was really cool.
Oh, all the lighting and the visual effects.
The lighting and the matte painting, the backgrounds were so amazing. They're so well done. You know, I love that they're bringing back that. I don't know if it's old style matte painting like the original series was, or if they're doing it's all computers now, but it is badass.
Chances are it's computers. I mean, matte painting is great, but they got that set that it can just do amazing things with it. So I don't know. I'm sure when they do the making of, we'll catch how they made those shots. But they work amazing. But here's the thing. I really believe they know that a lot of people are going to go watch those shots over and over and over. So let's get them some freaking eye candy. Let's really go off on it. And some great shots of her just holding her sabers. And sure enough, people start memeing them, start cutting them as their freaking background and posting stuff about the episode with those cool-ass images. They knew it looked cool. So it's all fan service there. That's why that was such a cool move in the beginning, just have her go at it. We know who she is. We know what she's capable of, so let's see what we came to see. Her.
Right, yeah. That's something I really admire this series for. Just, it's like, look, you either know who she is or you don't. We're not getting into it. And that's cool. Like, I admire that, you know what I mean? Because not everything needs a full explanation and backstory. And she has a backstory. If you want to see it, it's out there.
That's funny, because even that my wife was asking about, she didn't understand the whole thing about tattooing. I mean Alderaan, when they're talking about, did you have family Alderaan, that whole scene? That was in the last episode, correct?
Right.
And yeah, she's seen Star Wars, but she's not such a fan that she forgot about the whole planet being blown up. And the fact that scene's in there, those are for the diehards. Like, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, you're not diehards, but if you follow Star Wars, you know what Alderaan is. There's no doubt you know it, you know? Just like saying, you know, what do you mean the wicked old west, you know, got house land on her, the east, whatever. You know the story.
No, it's like mentioning Hiroshima.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Hiroshima is, your head's so buried.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. That's a better analogy. Yeah. But exactly. So it was pretty cool seeing that, you know, yeah, man, it sucks. There's people who were, you know, like off planet that day, and then like everybody's gone. Like, that's devastating. So I really like that scene. And those are stuff I like about this series. They're not too much hitting over the head. Like, hey, look at this thing here. Remember this from Empire Strikes Back, or this reference here? Because some of the episodes, they have like an Empire feel or Return of the Jedi feel. I don't know if you catch that, but sometimes I feel they're really making sure this particular episode, they're doing a lot of references from old, you know, like
the way they use the speeder bikes, the way they,
which is cool.
Totally.
But they're not hitting over the head with it. You know, you can see if you know.
Right, they're not making it the center of the episode. It's just there. And again, it's either you know what it is, you get the reference, or you don't.
Well, like the best,
and that's cool.
Yeah, like the one I really remember is when the Crate Dragon came out and you started making that noise, and like I was familiar with that sound because I always wondered why do these guys freak out with this guy whistling this noise, with, you know, scaring out the Jedi when they're about to kill or, you know, rob Luke when Obi-Wan first appeared. And he made that same noise. Yeah. And like, they see the dude, why are they tripping? But now I know because this goddamn thing, it makes... I'm sorry.
Right, if this dude had command of a Crate Dragon, then absolutely, they'd be in serious trouble.
That's why they took up. Now it makes sense. So when I saw that in this episode, hell yeah, they started running when they heard that thing coming. I mean, they didn't get away.
Right, and I bet most viewers never picked up on that at all. Not maybe most, but a good chunk of the viewers never picked up on it, and they didn't worry about it. It wasn't like, they didn't have to say a little side thing like, yeah, it's an old trick where if you want to get, clear out sand people, you can
Make that same noise.
Mimic that noise or whatever. Like, they didn't get into it. It's just, here it is, and you'll either get the reference or you don't get the reference, and I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I wish more mediums would take that into account. Like, we don't always need to, you don't always need to remind us of everything. Just relax. Just tell the story, you know?
Yeah, and that's, I think, why you have Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau running the show, because I mean, you have to have real people who really have passion for the project or the show. Yeah, it's easy said than done, but the proof is in the pudding. Look at the Mandalorian. Like, that's all we're talking about. We forgot about Last Jedi, and let alone the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, no, and I have no issue with any of those. They are what they are. Like, you want to talk about controversy? The thing that I find crazy is the MMA girl. She plays the other bounty hunter woman.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know her name.
And I don't know the character name. I should have looked it up. But like, she said some controversial things on Twitter, just about, she did some very anti-mask kind of stuff and whatever it is. And people are like absolutely mad. Like, they want to get her off the show. And I'm like, I don't care. She's actually a good actress. She's not a great actress, but she's good for the character and she fits the show. I don't care what her personal views are. Everybody has, if we stopped everybody that said stupid shit, nobody would ever get to say anything ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think people need to calm down with that stuff.
That's a whole different subject. But yeah, you make somebody upset, next thing you know, you got a freaking, what's that thing, votemeoff.com or start a petition.
You get what they call the cancel culture. And sadly, it's not wrong. There are people that just, anytime anybody says anything that's not 100% homogenized, for your ears, so that it exactly agrees with what you think, like, they want to take you out of whatever you're doing. And it's like, I don't know, I just don't get it. She's not in any place of power. She can't actually harm anybody. If somebody takes her advice, well, that's on the person that takes her advice. Yeah. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be everybody's business.
Here's a simple thing you can do. Stop watching the show. If you're so, it's simple. That's something you can actually do right now.
Well, that's the thing. That's the part that, because they like the show, but they want to be mad. They want to be, we got the professionally outraged nowadays.
I'm stopping my feet.
So they want to be mad, but they really like the show. So don't take my show away, but stop me from being this mad. It's like,
but you can't do that. And the thing is, I really enjoy. I look at every episode. I'm looking forward to the next one. Like, damn, it's over already. It's almost a snap of a finger. And this season, the episodes are longer. They're no longer like 30 minutes. They're now like pushing like 50, and I think this one's like 40 minutes, but they're actually decent episodes. I'm happy. I'm glad. I mean,
and I like that everyone's a different length. Make the story the length that story needs to be. If it needs to be 30 minutes, do a 30-minute story.
Is that crazy?
If something that needs that extra time, take the extra time. I love that they can do that.
No, that's one thing I'll give Disney. They didn't care that every episode had to be about, 40 minutes or 50. Like, no, just do your show, break them into episodes, and we don't care. And now I bet you everybody's going to follow that same lead. It doesn't have to be an hour long. It doesn't have to be an hour long.
I mean, they're not doing feature-length movies. They're just sometimes doing an extra 20 minutes or whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, they're doing fine with it. I'm looking forward to every episode, and I think this series can last. I'd be surprised they go over 5 years. And the reason being because they want to have they want to lead into a more series. So I don't know. 5 episodes seem realistic.
They're already talking about an Ahsoka movie.
That would be.
I was reading about that today. I don't remember on what site, but I mean, there may be an Ahsoka live action film. I would love to see that. Oh yeah.
I just want them to get away from the Skywalkers.
We're done with Skywalker. It's in the past now. Let's move on. Let's do new stuff. That's what I want to see. That's why I love The Mandalorian.
And I think The Mandalorian is that testing ground. I mean, that's a real test. Yeah, because here, the movies, the only one's good from Disney is Rogue One. Okay?
Right, they tried to do something new. Even that one was trapped in the old timeline.
That was telling a story about the plan, so I'm fine with that. because that's a great addition to it. But I don't need episode 13 to be, Skywalker Junior. I don't need it. Let's go on something.
Right. Yeah.
I'm fine even going back.
I don't need to. Yeah. I don't need to see the rise of Ben.
Go 500 years into the future. I would be. You know what would be freaking awesome if they had the freaking balls. And I think Disney proved it a little bit with the Avengers, Infinity War. If they do a trilogy where there's a big climactic ending at the end of it, the Sith win, people will go ape shit badass over that. Could you imagine the whole buildup of them beating the Empire or stopping the Sith? At the end of the third movie, they actually failed. Then you got, for this next episode, what do you think they're going to do? Is it going to be a one-off, or do they think they're going to continue with this Yoda? Because only got, 3 episodes? 4? How many left? 3, 4?
I think 3 or 4. We're up to episode 4 right now, right?
No, that was 5.
That was 5?
So I think that 3 more left. I think it's only 8 this season. How many episodes?
I don't really know what to expect. I expect that we'll see this temple that they were talking about. And I'm interested in seeing, how it's, how the Force is used. Because she said, put him on the Seeing Stone and a Jedi will come. Right? It'll attract somebody. And the first time I thought of that, I was thinking, well, it'll probably reach out into the world and draw somebody to it. The way the Force guides people. Now, if that's the case, it could be remember how we saw the kids that were able to use the Force with no training at the end of Last Jedi? Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll be somebody like that, somebody that knows the Force but has no training in it and might not be able to actually help. I don't really know. But at one point, it almost seems like he would have to hand off Baby Yoda so he can get on with the rest of what they're doing, which is to, he wants to rebuild the Mandalorian, people or whatever. I don't really know what it is, but he wants to rebuild that.
Yes.
And so that's eventually going to become the story arc, I would think. But right now they're doing with this other thing. So I think there's going to have to be a point where Baby Yoda his story ends on this show, and he's either taken into training or whatever. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And nothing bad, because they would never survive that. That would be worse than killing a dog at the end of your movie. You can't do it.
No, it's true. Well, we'll see.
Yep. And so, but I don't know. I'm really interested in seeing how they finish out this season. Like I said, the thing I'm looking forward to is how they introduce and what they do with Admiral Thrawn. And you're right. I hope it's not a Phasma thing. I hope they actually make him, because he's badass. They already have him from the cartoon, so it shouldn't be difficult to write for him. You know what I mean?
No,
he's already got a character and a voice.
Yeah. Like I said, it was good. We got 3 episodes left, and the next one's gonna be directed by Jon Favreau. He does actually the 14th and the last episode. And Rick Fumiyama, I crashed his name. I know I did. Fumi Aiwi, I'm sorry. He directs the 7th episode this year. There are no names for them. I wouldn't say it if I had them here, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this ends, because we got 3 more left for this. Again, it's just whipping through. I was so excited about the first episode, and already down to the last 3, and then we got to wait another damn year. But it's welcome to my life. I know, first world problems.
Yep. Oh, the poor suffering. Please, sir, can I have another plate of Star Wars?
I would like that. Man. I would like that. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to have it.
Well, we're way over time already, so we're going to call it here. But thanks so much for tuning in. Like I said, if there's anything you got, any thoughts, complaints,
corrections,
criticisms, corrections, put them down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have a conversation about this. Star Wars is just about our favorite license in the world, so let's keep it going.
All right, and we're getting back in the belly to next week, and we'll talk to you soon. Y'all be cool, enjoy Star Wars. It's part of your life, it's part of ours, and we love it.
Yeah, this is From the Belly of the Sarlac, the podcast, all about Star Wars all the time. Thank you.